A new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
And good day, everybody. Happy, what is today? Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. Today, we got the Padres and the Giants finishing up their series. 3-game set at Oracle Park. Today, this is the Talking for Hours pregame show, Padres-Giants. First pitch will be at 12:45 p.m. Pacific time. You can watch it on Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan on the radio with Jesse and Tony. Padres enter this game 4-2. Second place in the National League West, a half game back of first. Giants are 3-2 after last night's blowout win, 1 game back in the National League West. So obviously last night was not a great game. Later tonight, probably like 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, I'll have the next episode recapping the series, give my thoughts on that. I should have someone on as well as a guest, so stay tuned for that for tonight. But last night was not great. I went on John and Jim's wrap-up show. I posted that link on the YouTube channel, so you can check that out. It's on the Twitter as well as a pinned tweet up there on my Twitter profile at Talking for Hours. And I gave my thoughts, on what happened during that game. Will Myers pitched. Obviously, that's not great because it was a blowout, obviously. Darvish didn't really have anything working for him. Even sometimes when he hit his spots, he was giving up bloop singles, just line drives all over the place. Gave up the home run to Brandon Belt early. Just didn't have anything really working last night, so that was unfortunate. Offense really didn't do anything either. The big story, obviously, though, well, there were actually kind of 2 stories. Mike Shildt was the third base coach because Matt Williams is in the dugout. And last night during the game, while he was in the third base box, he told Gabe Kapler, the Giants manager, to control that mother effer, referring to, I believe, the Giants third base coach, Antoine Richardson. And Richardson was offended by that, thought that had some racist leanings or meanings towards that. But it seems like that is squashed. So I did want to start with that today because I think that's important. I know on ESPN, they had a header on ESPN. It was the lead story. It literally says it on ESPN. The top headline, their second top headline now because of the Derek Carr extension. But it says, Giants coach said, Shildt expletive reeked of racism. So if someone doesn't click on that story, I'm sure they will think of, oh, wow, Shildt, said something racist, and now these people are going to think of Shildt as a racist when he didn't say anything that was racist. And Richardson and Shildt had a joint media session today. Richardson said, quote, "In no shape or form did I believe he's a racist," end quote. A reporter said, Alex Pavlovich of NBC Sports said, he covers the Giants. He said that Richardson was saying he was trying to bring awareness to how certain words can impact certain communities. So he wasn't thinking that it was racist, but obviously headlines will, make it look like that when that's not what happened. And so for anyone wondering, I did want to show this video that just came out, I think an hour ago, somewhere around that time, of Richardson and Shildt hugging it out. Here it is. Richardson and Shildt hugging it out. Ryan Flaherty, quality control coach there, probably in the middle. They probably know each other, Richardson and Flaherty. That's probably why he's there. But yeah, they hug it out here. As you can see at the end of their conversation, shake hands, hug it out. And there you go. It seems like it's squashed. So, end of story. Puts his hand on his shoulder. Richardson's, smiling, understanding. So that's the end of the story. And I'm very glad that's the end of the story because I don't want to focus on that. And I don't know Mike Schilt. A lot of people don't know Mike Schilt, San Diego media-wise, because he just got here. But from what I've heard, players liked him, and they didn't really have anything bad to say about him. So I don't think that he is a racist or has been racist in any way. I think that I understand why I totally understand. And in fact, I advocate for Richardson, the third base coach, to come out and tell the media what Schilt said. Because like Richardson said, it does bring awareness to how words can impact those communities. Because I'm not an African-American, I'm white. So I love hearing that awareness, right? But in terms of like the ESPN headline and all that, and people jumping to conclusions because they didn't do the research, they didn't see what actually happened, they didn't read the quotes, they don't actually know, they weren't watching the game, they don't know, they just see the ESPN headline, they're not clicking on the article for any more context. They're going to jump to that conclusion of, oh, Schilt's a racist. And I don't want that. I really don't want that to happen. So I wanted to point that out. What's up, Quan? What's up, Raven? Lakum, how's it going? Michael. Patrick says, Richardson was using today's racial issues to his advantage. What a disgrace. I disagree. He was using it to spread awareness to how different words can impact his community. I don't think it's a disgrace. I totally disagree with that. Was he using it to his advantage to promote maybe white people not saying those words, and not mentioning control when they're talking about an African-American, a person of color? Yes, but I think that's a good thing that happened, because awareness does need to be spread about that. So I disagree with that, Patrick, but you can have your own opinion, but I definitely disagree with that. And then another piece of news that just came in, Dennis Lynn said Blake Snell is expected to go on the IL tomorrow. Bob Melvin said the Padres believe Blake Snell's adductor injury, which he suffered Sunday, and Austin Adams' forearm injury, which he suffered yesterday during the game, are mild. No official announcement yet for Friday who's starting that game, but Gore threw a bullpen yesterday. He's on the team, the taxi squad, so it seems like he would start on Friday if Snell does go on the IL like he's expected to tomorrow. So that's pretty much what we expected. I think he was supposed to throw a bullpen today, so maybe he has, and that's why he's expected to go on the IL, because he didn't feel good or they didn't like what they saw. Or maybe he hasn't, and that's just what he's hearing. But it's good that Melvin, is saying that they don't think that Adams and Snell's injuries are, hugely serious. That's definitely a positive. But no announcement for Friday as of yet. Gore threw a bullpen yesterday, so it looks like he's on track for Friday. And if Snell goes on the IL, he's going to start on Friday, I would think. Moving to today's pitching matchup, we got Sean Manaea for us, the Padres, against Logan Webb. Manaea obviously went 7 no-hit innings last time out, his first start of the regular season, his first Padres regular season start of his career. My question is, can he replicate it, obviously, to some degree? I'm not expecting him to go 7 no-hit innings. Shoot, I'm not even really expecting him to go 7. If he goes 6, okay, cool. If it's a quality start, that's what I care about, Just don't do what Darvish did last night, obviously. Darvish couldn't replicate what he did against Arizona, and the Giants are a better offense than Arizona is. So it is worthy to ask, will he replicate it? Can he replicate it to some degree today? Because if he can, that will save the bullpen. That will help because you got a 4-game series starting tomorrow against the Braves, and the Braves have a great lineup. So you could have a possibility where someone really struggles against that Braves lineup and you need to use the bullpen. So that would help for Manaea to have a quality start today. Webb, on the other side, pitched great for the Giants last year, pitched great in the postseason, that division series game at home against the Dodgers last year. He's the best pitcher the Padres are going to face this series. I know Alex Cobb might have had the best performance with 10 strikeouts. The second time in the last 8 seasons that he's had a 10 strikeout game. But in terms of the best pitcher, it's Logan Webb, since Carlos Rodon, who they signed this offseason, isn't throwing. Webb in his first start, 6 innings, 1 earned run. So good out of him out of his first start. So that's the pitching matchup, Manaea against Logan Webb. As for the bullpen, I did do a little bit something funny here with the bullpen usage chart, because Myers threw yesterday, gave up 2 home runs, but pace of play was great. He wasn't even setting sometimes on the mound, coming set. He threw 22 pitches. It was pretty much just him playing catch with Nola. But he threw 22 pitches, so I put him on the bullpen chart. He's obviously not a pitcher, but he'll be off tomorrow. But I wanted to put him on there because he did pitch. This is probably a moment he'll remember for the rest of his life. Obviously, they lost. He would prefer to pitch when they're winning and it's a blowout, but that's what happened. So Adams pitched yesterday. Obviously, he has forearm tightness, so he's not going to pitch. Chris Matt not going to pitch. Lamet not going to pitch. Suarez probably not going to pitch. So right now, people who are available, probably Pierce Johnson, Stammen, Wilson, Hill, Rogers, and then Kyle Tyler, the pitcher that they picked up, who was DFA'd or placed on waivers, I think, by the Angels, who's the Padres picked up a matter of weeks ago. So he has had a wild journey. A lot of teams going to Round Rock, going a lot of different locations, a lot of different cities. So that's the situation. That's the bullpen situation for today. I like where they're at this series finale. After Manaea, Pierce Johnson. They have Pierce Johnson. They have Taylor Rogers, right? Those are the big 2. Steven Wilson as well. He's pitched pretty well. But Johnson and Rogers, those are the 2 I trust the most right now, and they're available, it seems like, today. So that's good. That's the bullpen situation for the Padres. Now, getting to the let's see here. Let's get to the lineups or lineup, because the Giants lineup is not out yet. But what we really care about is the Padres lineup. So here's the Padres lineup today. Grisham leading off, playing center. Manny at third. Jake at second. Voit DHing. Haas is at first. Profar is back in the lineup after not playing yesterday, and Beatty being in left. Profar's in left, batting 6th today. We got Will in right. Alfaro catching Manaea, and he is batting 8th. And Abrams is at shortstop, obviously facing Logan Webb, who is a righty. So that's the lineup. Just initial thoughts, just kind of eyeballing it here. I like it. You got left, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. So pretty balanced there. Jorge Alfaro, obviously, catching Manaea. They had success last time. So that's good. And then Abrams, he has 1 hit, I think, so far this year. Let's see if he can get another hit. That would be a good, start, so that, he can maybe get on a roll going into the homestand, because I know fans are excited to see Abrams starting tomorrow. Who's pitching tomorrow for the Braves? Will we see him starting tomorrow? Let me see here real quick. They have the pitching matchup already. Tomorrow's game, the home opener, is at 5:10 Pacific time at Petco. Remember, you can get your Gaglione Bros cheesesteaks and garlic fries starting tomorrow at inside Petco Park. So you can view their menu, gaglionebros.com, if you want some today. Locations Mission Gorge and Point Loma. But yeah, Gaglione Bros is inside Petco Park starting tomorrow for fans that are heading out there. Tomorrow, Charlie Morton is on the mound against Musgrove. Morton is a righty, so I'd expect Abrams to be in there. So yeah, hopefully Abrams can get a hit today, or just get on some sort of roll heading into the first homestand, the first home game that he'll play in as a Padre at Petco Park on the Major League team. I think he played in some prospect games against the Rangers at Petco, like they usually do every year. But in terms of home Major League games, this will be his first. So that'll be fun to watch. As for my what to watch first today, will there be a retaliation by the Padres? Schultz and the third base coach, like I mentioned, they hugged it out today, had a joint media session. Seems like everything's good there, so I wouldn't expect retaliation, especially with Manaea on the mound. I think that he, wants to win here. I think the Padres, they want to win this series. Actions speak louder than words. With your actions, go beat the Giants, go win this series, and then you can laugh at Dubon and all that because you won the series. So I'd rather have them do that. I think retaliation could happen if a reliever goes rogue and it's a blowout or something. But with Manaea, I would not expect that. I think it would, look, the Giants blew the Padres out yesterday. So you don't need any more base runners, free base runners. So I personally would not hit any guy. And I don't think there will be retaliation, at least from the starters today. Can Manaea do it again, like I mentioned? And then will someone hit a home run today? When was the last home run hit? Was it? Oh, no, it was Monday. Nola hit a homer. But will Voit hit his first home run in a Padre uniform in the regular season today? Who knows? I don't know what the wind is like, but will Abrams do something? Will Myers do something? He's hit pretty well in his career at Oracle Park as a Padre, so those are things to watch for. Will Hosmer and Profar stay hot? Those are my what to watch for today. As for my Padre pick, one guy I think will get a hit today. Last night I had Manny. He went 0 for 2. Obviously, it was a blowout, so I didn't get a ton of at-bats. I'm 3-2 so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. Today I'm going to go Jake Cronenworth. I looked at the matchup earlier today, Logan Webb against Cronenworth. And so far in his career, Jake Cronenworth, 9 at-bats, he's hitting .333. Left against righty. I like that matchup. I'll pick Cronenworth. He usually makes contact. I like that pick. So hopefully I can get my 4th right pick to start off this season. Again, they've played 6 games, so you're probably like, Ben, you should be 3-3 or something, or added up to 6 games. Well, Hosmer was not 0 for. He did not hit. He didn't have an at bat in one of the games I picked him, so that does not count because he didn't even have a chance to fulfill it or not fulfill that pick. So I'm playing by the beat the streak rules there. It's just a fun thing. If I suck at this, okay, I suck at this. It's not. I don't want a prize or anything for it. But let me know who you think will get a hit today. If you have an opinion on who you think will get a hit in today's game, let me know. I got Cronenworth. And then before we end with your comments, just going around the big league, some notes. Kershaw and Paddock are pitching against each other in Minnesota today. Paddock has sucked it up in the first inning. First start with the Twins. I tweeted it out here. There was a lot of action in the first inning. Okay, so first inning, Paddock at home, after saying those comments about the Padres uniforms and all that. Right now it's 3-0 Dodgers. First inning, this is what happened with Paddock. Mookie Betts double. Freddie Freeman line out to Nick Gordon and left. Sharp line out was a great play by Nick Gordon in the field. Then Trey Turner singled. Then Trey Turner stole second base. Then Paddock hit Muncy with the hit by pitch. Justin Turner singled, scored 2 runs. Then Paddock made a fielding error on a nubber by Chris Taylor. So just not much working. Then a mound visit, he struck out Bellinger, who's like the most lost hitter at the plate for the Dodgers. So I don't know if that's a huge accomplishment. And then he got Gavin Lux to ground out. But it was a pretty sharp ground out. So that was the first inning for Paddock. The second inning, Mookie Betts singled, Freddie Freeman doubled, Trey Turner sac fly, Betts scored, and then Kepler caught the fly out from Muncy in foul territory in right field. So he's given up 3 runs. He's given up 6 hits already so far, so not great for Paddock in his Twins debut. So that's the situation. Washington's up 2-0 to the Braves. Not again, but just getting back to that Paddock thing real quick. I'm rooting for Paddock today, that's for sure. Facing the Dodgers, I have some family in Minnesota, so that's an easy decision. He was one of my favorite Padres. I didn't think that his comment was necessary about the Padres. I know there's a lot of jokes going around on Padres Twitter about that, but rooting for him today because he's facing the Dodgers. So hopefully he can find it and not give up any more runs. Washington's up 2-0 on the Braves right now in the 6th. Cleveland is up on Cincinnati 2-0 in the 3rd. Pittsburgh's up 6-2 on the Cubs in the 5th. Mets, good pitching matchup here. We got Scherzer and Nola, Austin's brother. Mets are up 1-0 in the 3rd. Boston and Detroit are tied at 1. Some later matchups of note, we got Houston playing Arizona, Toronto playing the Yankees, Kansas City, St. Louis was postponed, Seattle plays the White Sox. So those are some matchups, some MLB news and notes so far. Pujols yesterday hit his first Cardinals home run since 2011, so that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, Wolfpack 1977 asked what percentage that Pujols hits 700 at Petco. Well, let me see. Let me look at the Padres schedule real quick for you then to see when they play the Cardinals at home. They don't play the Cardinals till September. Middle of September, the 20th through the 22nd. That's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against the Cardinals. So I think it's a pretty high percentage because what is he, like 19 away or something like that? So, yeah, you have a full season to add up those home runs. I think I wouldn't put it at like a 10%. I'd put it higher. I'd probably put it, it's hard to say that he's going to do it at Petco because of just how many games he plays. He could get hot. He could get hurt. So I'm not going to put anything higher than 50%, but I'd put it in the 30 to 50% range if he stays healthy and, he stays on track. In September, he could align for that. But he could also, not do it and not get to 700. And he said this year's his last year, but, I feel like he'd want to get to 700 if he doesn't get there. I don't think it's a slam dunk that he gets to 20 home runs this year. But that's a pretty strong percentage. It's not like he's facing them at Petco in August, right? It's in September. Quan asked, does Gore wear number 1? Not sure yet. He wore number 1 in spring training. I think it's available, so he could, yeah. Gil says, Mike Schilt was wrong by using those words. Good by Richardson bringing it up. We live in a country with institutionalized racism, and those type of comments should be reprehended. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Patrick had a comment that I disagreed with earlier about how it was a disgrace of how Richardson used today's racial issues to his advantage. I think he just used it. It wasn't to benefit him, really. It was to benefit people like him, just to spread, or people like me, actually, people not of color, to spread awareness of how those words can impact those people. Oceanside Boys 760 says, I can't wait for Padres opening day. Padres need to win. Yeah, it would be nice. Got Musgrove on the mound. It would be a great story. Hometown kid at Petco, home opener. Beat the World Series defending champions. That would be great. Yeah, I agree with you, Quan. Retaliation is to win the series. I agree. They need to do it with their actions. Yep. Padres have bullpen trouble. Can't afford for a guy to be ejected. Yeah, I agree. And especially Manaea. Let's say Manaea did it in the first inning and he gets ejected. That's not great for the Padres. You're probably going to lose that game then because Chris Matt pitched yesterday. What other options do you have? For long guys, And Manaea's their best pitcher right now because we're taking into effect Darvish struggled yesterday, and Manaea hasn't yet to do that with the Padres. So he's their best starter right now, and taking him out in the first inning just because he wants to plunk someone, that wouldn't be very smart. that would set up the Padres for probably failure today. Eric says, let's see here. Wait, is Gore really the first draft pick that would come out of the Preller regime? No. Ryan Weathers was drafted. Quantrill was, and then he was traded. Paddock was not drafted, but they traded for him pretty early. I'm trying to think of other. I understand your point. There's not very many, and because he likes to trade, and he has not developed very many pitchers. So yeah, I understand your point, but he's not the first draft pick. He could be the best, but he's not the first. All right. This has been the Padres Talking Friars pregame show. Padres Giants later today, 12:45 p.m. Pacific time, first pitch. Valley Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. Last game of the road trip, trying to end the road trip on a good note, end the road trip at 5-2. We'll see if that happens. You got Chaminade on the mound against Logan Webb, good pitching matchup. And at around 8 p.m. Pacific time probably is when I'll come on, have a live stream tonight with a guest. At least that's what's scheduled to happen. And talk about this series. Feel free to give your thoughts. Also, give your thoughts on that voicemail if you want to, and I'll play them tonight if I get any. 619-335-5770, 619-335-5770 to express any Padres thoughts that you have and to be featured on the next episode, which is tonight at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll see you then. Thanks, everyone, for the support. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Put those notifications on so you don't miss a video. Don't miss when I go live. And have fun. Enjoy this game. Hopefully it's not a blowout like yesterday. See ya.